1 second. Davey in this motherfucker. Motherfucker, welcome back to the News Underground. You might notice the mic sounds a little bit different. Sorry about that. We got the stream. We've rebuilt the stream. Hopefully I don't sound like Joe Biden right now. No. Do I sound like Joe Biden now? I've made some changes. I've added some things. We got some new stuff going. We got hot ones like this. Yeah, you like that? You like that? I can't hear it right now. I can only assume you can hear it. All right, we're having fun already. All right, but that is Yeah Man with Get Buck. We're going to be listening to this album. Did you before? I had a lot of this shit bought and like kind of configured, and then it like didn't work, and then I never got back to it. We got the soundboard. Yeah, we got some improvements on the soundboard. You know, with the old classics. They're still here. Hooray. Yeah, well, if I put yeah, because I have my contact information on my LinkedIn for the News Underground. So that's what I expect. But anyway, welcome back Kissing Gonzo, welcome back Zeo Duke, welcome back Chem Goblin, Ford the Perfect. Davey, Woke Patriot, #1 in the chat. Carl Toes, this one's for you. Do you like, is that even more annoying than the other one that I had? And I'm sorry about my appearance today, folks. I look like refried shit. I know there's no other way to put it. But I look like absolute dog water right now, and there's really nothing I can do about that, so. Oh, am I spelling? Did I spell it wrong? H-A-R-A-S-S? I thought I spelled it right. All right, hold on. I don't like the font. I'm going to change the font too. Leave me alone. Quit harassing me. Quit harassing me. I thought I had it right. Anyway, welcome to the show, folks. We're keeping it real simple today. Nothing too crazy. Just going to talk about one topic, and you know, of course, I don't even have a transition set up. Oh my God, I got to fix that. But no, we're going to be talking about, of course, Gaza, Israel, Lebanon, what's happening out there. We have to. We simply have to. So Channel 4 over here 1 hour ago put this out, kind of a recap of everything. Figured we're just going to dive right into that. And, you know, if everyone that's here has been a longtime viewer, and by the way, thank you for making that happen. Thank you for allowing me to say that. Tisrael, welcome back. If you're a longtime viewer, you know my opinion on this. I'm actually surprised that they're going for Lebanon, though. I don't think he's going to stay there, but I think Bibi thinks that he needs Lebanon to stay in power. So I am a little, let me just turn this down a little bit, sorry. So I am a little surprised to see them going into Lebanon. I don't think it's about taking over Lebanon, though. It might be about overshadowing what's happening in Gaza, right? You big distraction in Lebanon, you know, will they, won't they? You know, and then, you know, while the big news is Lebanon, of course, you finish the job over there in Gaza Strip and West Bank. You finish the theft, the erasure of Palestine. You know, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. I feel pretty confident that this is not a Sorry, I'm just getting, I'm getting recombobulated here, so I apologize. I'm a little off my game. But no, I don't, like I said, I don't think this is about taking Lebanon. It's possible that this is a distraction. We all know that as long as Bibi has a war to fight, then he can stay in power, then he stays relevant, because that's just the twisted nature of Israeli politics. The poll numbers, I don't know if you've seen the poll numbers, Bibi Netanyahu and the Likud party shooting back up. People are, going back to, to their old demons. So it's working. That's the disgusting thing about what Bibi Netanyahu's strategy is. It's working. I'd say it's about ending all the Hezbollah stuff, and they won't stop before that happens. There's no such thing. Have they ended Hamas? There's these claims that America has ended ISIS or ISIL. Both still exist. Hezbollah, I mean, they're taking out the leader. They're taking out big chunks of the upper echelon. Hezbollah or whatever the hell, however the hell you say his name. He wasn't the only person in leadership that was taken out. It would be a strategical mistake, as well as a humanitarian catastrophe. Well, Israel doesn't care about humanitarian catastrophes, so that's off the table. Israel only cares about. I think Israel only cares about finishing the acquisition of Palestine, and then starting the the rewriting the history process, right? Because once Israel has fully taken it over, it's going to be a 20-30 year process of everyone just kind of, okay, forget about it. If you're a Saudi royal, I was reading about the Saudi royals, they don't give a shit about Palestine. He's making I don't really care about, literally the head Saudi prince or whatever, cockiest motherfucker you ever saw in your life, saying, yeah, I don't really give a shit about Palestine. My people care. My dad used to care. But I don't really care. I just really want to normalize relations with Israel. And apparently Saudi Arabia isn't the only Arab country that is fully willing to abandon Palestine. Israel knows this. Doesn't usually end well, especially if the second side is very ready for you. We'll see about that. Because it's Tisrael, that maybe if Israel didn't have Israel, maybe if they didn't have United States weapons, United States support, and dumbasses like Joe Biden fully supporting your genocidal aims, but Israel has all those things. They're good to go. I'm skeptical. I'm hearing a lot on this on the left. Oh, Hezbollah's ready. I think my mic's too loud. I'm turning it down. I'm hearing a lot of this on the left. Hezbollah's ready. I don't know, dog. Turning up the mic. There we go. I don't know. Let's get into the video and then we'll discuss more. But those are kind of my early thoughts.
That will echo through Lebanon's future for years to come.
Shit, I don't have
only glimpses remain of the lives
blur
that lived
filter.
here
I better get that going.
and the 4 apartment blocks that stood until 3:30 this morning. Scenes repeated across the Dahaya district of South Beirut, a sprawling suburb hollowed out by Israeli bombs and fear.
Right.
A suburb.
I don't have a blur, burning. So I'm just going to have to cut out the video. If
There's intense heat coming from the basement.
I feel like you're a bit
building.
too quiet, Roger.
The sky
okay, coming in.
Dense
yep, the video's way too loud.
It smells acrid. The scale of destruction around here is vast.
How's that?
Not
Let me know. Let me know if that's better.
Everywhere you drive around Dahaya, there are signs of these airstrikes. And just a moment ago, we heard Israeli.
Hey, and that's all U.S.-made weaponry, baby. Hope you know. Aren't you glad you're paying your taxes? Hold on here. Hold on. That's all. Whoa, Jesus. That's loud. But yeah, that's all U.S.-made weaponry. There we go.
Planes in the sky. There is a tense feeling now that as bad as all this is, yet more could be coming.
Fresh fire from the sky did soon fall, but they brought mere tremors. Compared to the seismic eruptions that leveled large parts of Dahaya last night, an overwhelming use of force focused on breaking Hezbollah's command and control center and decapitating an entire movement.
Yeah, and let me be clear. I have no love lost for Hezbollah, Hamas, or any of these other, the religious government in Iran, et cetera, these governments, these terrorist organizations, whatever you want to call them, they do not do their people any favors. Their strategies suck. And Bibi Netanyahu, I swear to God, playing these motherfuckers like a fiddle. I don't like to say that. But these guys, it's like they work for Bibi in terms of alignment. You know what I mean? Just when Bibi needs a boogeyman, these idiots pop their head up. There is a third way outside of total defeat, totally giving up, and violent resistance. It's Gandhi. The leaders, these Muslim-based religious theocracies, they don't seem to ever be interested. Because the violence, Bibi Netanyahu has a strategy that works perfectly with people that only speak in the language of violence. He's got a perfect strategy, and it's working great. His poll numbers are up. The Western democracies bow to him. You shouldn't do that, while handing him fucking shovelfuls of money and weapons that they continue, that they use to rip people apart. The pager walkie-talkie attack being hailed as, a success. Wow, what creative thinking. If anyone else had done that, it would have been called what it is, terrorism. Sorry, I look like shit today. I'm sorry. So I just wanted to reiterate, and to the lefties that are trying to make an argument that these people are, it's a mixed bag, because Hezbollah is more of a government than Hamas. So it's a mixed bag, and the United States is happy to classify things that it doesn't like as a terrorist organization, even if they are considered legitimate government. But then you also have the Taliban mixed in with that. So it's tough. It's tough. And in a lot of cases, these people have popular support. Whatever shreds of democracy exist in their systems, they're often, the popular ones getting voted in. It's just a big fucking mess, man. There's no, there's no Mahatma Gandhis, there's no MLKs, there's no, it'll come to me, Nelson Mandela's in this mix. It's a whole lot of cynical, violent bastards, and Bibi Netanyahu playing these dudes like a fiddle. I swear to God, he's playing the whole world like a fiddle. Bibi Netanyahu, you got to give him props. Even now, you walk up to Joe Biden, stick a microphone in his face. What do you think about Israel and their incredible atrocities? I support Israel 100%. I'm a proud Zionist. Okay. I won't even mention. I won't even say the word Palestinian in my speeches. The erasure's already happening, right? It's already happening. Google plays along. The map's updated. Oh, okay, what part is Israel stolen? Okay, that's now officially Israel. We all just agreed to it. Oh, the international community, though. Sorry, I'm rambling, but what I see before me is a masterclass in manipulation, and Bibi Netanyahu is at the very, very top of that. Tell me I'm wrong. Disagree with me. I don't know. Give me some fucking opinions. I don't know. I want to be wrong.
Sheikh Hassan Nasrallah led Hezbollah for 32 years. He was one of the most influential figures in the Middle East and top of the Israeli hit list.
Welcome back, Estonian.
The leader of the terrorist army Hezbollah was killed by Israel Defense Forces in a precise strike in Beirut last night while he was...
Have they ever announced a strike that wasn't precise? It really doesn't matter how they do it. I mean, you literally can't trust a word. If you see this setup, whoever's speaking, you can't trust a fucking word, man. Not because they're Jewish, but because they're Zionist. That's what's going on, man. It's a massive manipulation of geopolitics, and they're winning.
In Hezbollah's central headquarters,
yeah, they got him.
More imminent attacks against
not precise though.
And then the immediate response read out on Iranian state TV. Ayatollah Khamenei calling on Muslims to stand by Hezbollah with whatever means they have, confronting, he says, the wicked regime of Israel. But inflicting this wound on Hezbollah meant unleashing hell on a...
Yeah, sometimes they are. But have they ever announced a strike that wasn't quote-unquote precise? Never. It's a joke. They'll carpet bomb a whole neighborhood and call it precise.
Densely populated area of a capital.
They call the pager attack precise. The pager attack precise. Fucking children, that shit blowing up in children's faces. It's not precise. Are you a nihilist? Yeah, abandoned nihilism means I'm a nihilist. Are you a fucking moron? Wow, that's loud. Are you a moron?
City. We may not know the civilian cost of last night's airstrikes for weeks to come. In their droves, they fled their homes last night, an evacuation en masse. And now the city's streets are littered with loved ones nursing each other's shock.
Precise, dog. That's precise. Whole families removed from their homes. Yeah, I know. Got him.
This family has huddled exhausted on this corner since the early hours.
See what happens? Exactly.
Not a sound uttered by these children.
Exactly.
Stunned into silence.
My daughters were terrified.
I don't know. Maybe fuck you. And quit wasting our time. Do you have something of merit or substance to say? Or are you just going to fucking fart? Just come in here and just rip one? Is that what you're going to do? Why am I mad at you? Let me count the ways.
From the situation. Very scared. Netanyahu is aiming to kill small kids. This little one, look at her and her. They are not ready to see war.
Saturday morning at the Corniche by Beirut Marina, in place of the walkers and weekend runners, an encampment of the displaced, the war-weary, and the odd person checking on the new neighbours. It's not just the residents of De Gea dealing with the aftermath, but those that race to help them too.
Of course, the situation was so hard. The bombs were like raining.
Carl Toes, I heard this yesterday, an expert point this out, that just because Israel warns people, that actually doesn't absolve them from war crimes when they kill innocent people in their precise strikes. Just thought I'd let you know, Carl.
Everywhere.
You don't get like a free pass.
Of course, it's something hard for the people to be there.
It's hard for you.
Oh, well, we warned them.
Exactly, to work there and help, and then at the same time be afraid if they're gonna.
Okay, well,
Did that go through your mind last night, that whether or not you would survive?
If I'm gonna say no, I'm gonna be lying.
But for the emergency vehicles, every corner of this sprawling district is now desolate. A district that's a Hezbollah stronghold.
Dude, you're a pussy bitch. You're a fucking pussy bitch, dude. I'm sorry. Oh, did I make you mad? Oh, I just came in here. Hold on. Let me see if I have a cool voice for this one. Let's see here. Not really. Oh, here we go. Hold on. I just came in here and then he started yelling at me and he started 2 messages in and he's like yelling at me and stuff. Get it? There we go.
This street of Dahia is 3 kilometers from the center, but here too, the smoke rises. The emergency workers shows us part.
Was that funny? Was that funny? Did you hear the farts? I fucking shit my pants just right now. Nice. Unacceptable. Was that funny? I don't know. We did not. Yeah, it was funny. Okay. Yay. I'm funny, guys. Funny noises.
Shut the fuck up!
Okay, back to news.
Part of the rocket that pierced this building and what may have lay beneath.
This apartment block, locals had told us, was hit at 3 a.m. But because there had already been so many airstrikes by that time, it had already been evacuated. Now, we don't know exactly what's hit it, but it appears from looking inside.
No, Kim Goblin, it's okay. Once you warn innocent people that you're going to blow up their house, and then you blow up their house and they're still in it, you're good to go, dude. It's in the charter of like human rights and stuff or whatever.
That some form of penetrating bomb has
Section
gone deep under the ground,
47.B.
and that's where it's exploded, and that's where all of this smoke is billowing from now.
It's not only the buildings smouldering across this nation. With tensions rising, the Lebanese army have been deployed in fear of not Israel.
But I mean, Hezbollah totally deserves this, though. The innocent people that got ripped to shreds don't, but the Hezbollah absolutely fucking deserves it. They suck. People should stop voting for them. But like I said, there's no Gandhis. There really does seem to be like, the only, and there's a lot of in Lebanon, I'm hearing reports of a lot of citizens being like, this is how we do it. We fight back. And it's like, that's exactly what Bibi wants. He wants more of those rockets. He wants a nice, tight little, another October 7th to justify it. And Hezbollah's like, let's give it to him,
But civil unrest within these borders, as displaced families took shelter on the steps of Beirut's Blue Mosque. Those that could forgot about the horrors of the night before. But for most, a dark cloud looms over these lands.
Well, Paul joins us now live. We've heard about the Lebanese and Iranian reaction. What has been the wider response to Nasrallah's death?
Well, in the last hour, we've had a response from Joe Biden calling the...
This is how we do it. I didn't see that comment till just now.
Killing, quote, a measure of justice for many of his victims. That will not go down well with many here. There is already a sense that while it may be Israel that's done everything over the last couple of weeks to Lebanon, they've done it. And at no point has the U.S. stepped in to intervene. They feel that
but it was on October 8th. It was really fucking stupid for Hezbollah to fire rockets at Israel in clear solidarity with Hamas. And it was really funny when Hamas realized that was all, that's all that they were going to get from Hezbollah. They kind of thought Hezbollah was like going to go in and, help them out a little bit more than that. But it was totally stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like the Arab government that neighbors Israel, that decides to forgo violence and go down the path of Gandhi in terms of how to treat Israel, how to work with Israel, it would completely disarm Israel. Israel's strategy is create a boogeyman, incite that boogeyman, and then that boogeyman, then it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, see, they fired rockets at us. But let's of course forget the context. And the media does its job, right? The media, Morning Joe does its job. Oh, can you believe what happened on October 7th? That's when history began. Israel and Palestine exist. That was the day history began, October 7th. We're not gonna talk about the thousands of Palestinians that Israel was holding hostage on October 7th. The innumerous crimes committed against Palestinians before October 7th. So as long as that paradigm exists, Bibi's strategy it's rock solid, man. Tell me how Bibi is losing. Right? I don't like him. I don't like him. Okay? But is he losing in any kind of substantive way? Politically, kicking ass. Geopolitically, democracies are bowing down. Yeah, if it's red, that means it's new, I believe. I think the red means it's new.
The US is the one who has the relationship, the authority to do that. It's something we've heard countless times from people that we speak to up and down the country. In
Hezbollah
fact,
was
today,
not
as we were
to
talking
get
to distressed
able
people,
not to
can be
get
very
involved, bro?
sensitive because
What?
of the amount of anti-West sentiment. In the last half hour, the US State Department has ordered families of some US diplomats to leave. But the tenseness isn't just international. There is a level of fear on the streets here. Earlier on, we saw swarms of tanks being deployed because of fear of civil unrest. Right now, restaurants are closed. This is a city waiting for what may unfold and fearing what may unfold.
Paul McNamara in Beirut. Well, Hassan Nasrallah became a hugely influential figure in the Middle East. During more than 3 decades leading Hezbollah, he transformed it into a powerful military and political force with Iran's backing. So to explore how pivotal he was as a figure for 32
exactly.
years, over to our chief correspondent, Alex Thompson.
Yeah, Tisrael, exactly.
War is claim and counterclaim, but around noon today, Hezbollah agreed with Israel. Syed Hassan Nasrallah was dead. At some point during Friday's airstrikes on Beirut's southern suburbs,
Roger.
Israel says it struck what it called an underground Hezbollah command bunker beneath a residential building after intelligence that the Hezbollah leader was there at a meeting.
طبعا الهدف هو هز معنويات حزب الله.
32 years leading Hezbollah's state
Put the
within
compressor
the state.
down, let me know.
Militia, of course, but
Put the compressor down, Chem Goblin, let me know if that's any better.
an extensive social, political and welfare mini-government. Lebanese political leaders came and went. Nasrallah and thus Iran, who fund and...
So, right, don't play fair, talking about Bibi over here, straining relations with allies while trying to cause more conflict at the roots. I mean, we can't forget he's done this. I don't know if Bibi was in charge in 2006, but Israel has done this before. They've occupied a chunk of Lebanon and hung out for how many years? Then just took off like it wasn't no thing. All the Western democracies, everyone fell back in line. So it seems outrageous to us on top of what the crimes that they're committing in Palestine. But we need to remember the sympathy that we see in the international community is largely performative when it comes to Palestine. That's the God honest truth, and it's so disgusting. It's terrible. No one is going to do anything substantive to save Palestine. Israel knows this, especially with the full backing of the United States. I think this has to be quit. I think it has made it so quitting is not an option. It's if it stops, Bibi is screwed, not in the long term. Exactly. So I talked about this last stream. This is about Bibi saying, I need to get stuck in. I got Sleepy Joe over here, the biggest gift to Zionism, since George W. Bush, since Donald Trump, right? I got to take advantage of the situation. Kamala's saying the right things, but Kamala is saying the right things. When it comes to Israel, but there's a high likelihood that she's going to do something substantive to possibly, try to blunt Israel and their effort here. So he's got to get super stuck in, turn this into a big quagmire. And hey, if Lebanon is being talked about, if it's all about Hezbollah and Lebanon, and the settlers start sneaking into the Gaza Strip, hey, who's going to look the other way? I don't think the settlers are going to be involved yet. I think what they're going to try to do, though, is like what we heard with Gaza City, full occupation, no one's allowed in, just lock it down completely, make it a no man's land, no Palestinian allowed to be in there at all. And then after like a couple of years or maybe a year or so, then let the settlers start sneaking in once it's out of the news. I don't know, though. Either way, the Palestinians are fucked. Lebanon, though, like I said, I don't think Israel is going to be taking Lebanon. I don't think that's the goal. Like you said, I think it's about getting stuck in.
Supply Hezbollah for proxy war on Israel was always there.
I think as the US
Voice is clear. Thank you. Thank you, Kissing Gonzo.
And Afghanistan, where you are dealing with a movement rather than just a leader or an established government, you can kill as many of the leaders as you like, and there will be more leaders.
Yeah, this is how these operations work. You're seeing the media talk about, oh, this is going to be huge. This is going to be huge. To their leadership structure. They're ready to be martyred. It's kind of an honor to be martyred when you're in these higher echelons, and it's an honor to take over, and that is all very expected. It's not like they're a bunch of Putins and they never think that they're ever going to get assassinated. They do everything to prevent succession of power. It's part of the system. It's what makes these terrorist operations so flexible.
Moving in, taking over. The Israelis
Sam Akumura, thank you for the follow.
Intimidated.
Oh my God!
Destruction that will echo.
My fucking God! Okay, I was trying to refresh. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just a fucking hot mess. I am so sorry right now.
To leadership in charge of Hezbollah now that is only going to seek revenge.
Israeli officials released this photo claiming to be Prime Minister Netanyahu ordering the airstrike from New York. US officials were, it seems, kept in the dark. His UN speech, long on war, short on diplomacy, pointedly warning Iran by name, Lebanon by implication.
There is no place in Iran that the long arm of Israel cannot reach. And that's true of the entire Middle East.
Then he said, we are winning.
He is. Who's stopping him?
Certainly a series of body blows to
Who's
Hezbollah.
stopping him?
The recent exploding pagers and then walkie-talkies instilling terror into the organization. Alongside that, though,
Zeoduke. Yeah, so that was kind of brushed over in this little clip here, but yeah, the audacity of ordering this strike while sitting in the UN. I mean, it really does say it all. I have no respect for this body. You're going to do what we say. Only until the United States allows Israel to be vulnerable will any of this dynamic change. But as long as the United States fully supports Israel and its so-called defense, which is their version of defense, is a lot like their version of de-escalation. Remember, they just said recently they're de-escalating by escalating. Well, their defense looks a whole lot more like offense to me. Beating up a child, say they asked for it. Well, not exactly beating up a child. See, that's the thing. Not exactly beating up a child. We're talking about Hamas is disgusting. Hezbollah is disgusting. We're talking about and there's dozens of other resistance groups that I think have disagreements, but that basically do agree with violence. How do you preach peace when you're being annihilated, when you're being erased like this? It almost feels like you're going against your own human instinct when you're talking about pulling a Gandhi instead of a Che Guevara. I couldn't imagine, I couldn't imagine the rage in my heart. If my family ripped away, my parents, my children killed, my wife killed in some airstrike, and then some white privileged dickhead is telling you, well, the solution actually isn't violence. Because that helps Bibi Netanyahu. It feeds into his narratives. It justifies his actions. Greetings from south of Boston. It's your boy, Lenny. Upgraded air horn.
Series of strikes killing
fucking for
Hezbollah
virginity.
Leadership.
Well, kissing Gaza, but it's not always true, though. World War II, man. World War II, and then of course all the resistance to monarchies, that happened before that. There's so many examples in history where fighting for peace was totally necessary and made perfect sense. So we gotta somehow inject nuance and complexity into our lives. We gotta stop generalizing, and it's like so difficult. It makes everything so fucking hard. You see all these dummies running around, and it's all just like, It's all so simple for them. It's all so simple. 1 + 1 = 2. It's like, man, we're being manipulated by very smart fucking people.
Hassan Nasrallah, the supreme leader, dead, leaving Hezbollah leaderless, probably not for long. Last Tuesday, an Israeli attack killed Hezbollah's rocket division commander, Ibrahim Kubaisi, in South Beirut. 4 days earlier, Ibrahim Akil, operations commander, and Ahmad Wapi, another top commander, killed in the same attack.
Shit, woke patriot, you're probably a leader of Hezbollah. You probably know half these guys, don't you?
Back in July, Fouad Shukr, Nasrallah's right-hand man,
he knows everybody,
killed in South Beirut. Hezbollah stepped
He's the
up
Kevin
firing
Bacon
its
of
rockets
politics.
into Israel the day after the October the 7th attacks. It has not stopped since.
So dumb.
So what
dumb.
now for Iran?
It has not stopped since. That's actually not true, Channel 4. The attacks into Israel from Hezbollah have been pretty intermittent. That's not excusing them, but it hasn't been constant. The organized religious people bring to the table. Yeah. Coming inside the city. Yeah, no. Hey, congratulations. He's a journalist now. Is he working for Press TV, probably?
Iran, who set up, supplies and sponsors Hezbollah to deliver its war against Israel by proxy.
Lives
in
in
Peru.
Peru.
New president
Wow.
who is keen to try and improve the lot of the Iranian people, which they can only do if there is relative peace in the region, some kind of rapprochement with the US that reduces the cost of sanctions.
The fuck? That's some fancy ass French word. The fuck does that mean? Rapprochement? What?
In the region, some kind of rapprochement with the US.
Rapprochement? Come on. Come on. We get it. You're smart.
US that reduces the cost of sanctions. On the other hand, there is the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Defense Force, who are keen to continue prosecuting the campaign against Israel through their proxies.
Diplomacy. It is
already over 800 people killed and well over 100,000 displaced by Israel's Lebanon attacks. The Israelis calling up reservists, moving ground forces towards the border as the airstrikes pound every day. But remember this, Nasrallah became leader back when the Israelis killed his predecessor, Abbas al-Musawi. Israel wanted to behead the snake, as it put it. Instead, in Nasrallah, it got a far, far more potent leader.
Well, joining me now from Beirut is the Iranian academic Mohammad Morandi, who is normally based in Tehran. Good evening. What difference do you think the death of Hassan Nasrallah and so many of his...
Yeah, no, Tisrael, you're just talking about how, you know, Hezbollah, Hamas, they're fully aware of their cynical use of the civilian population. And they're, you know, they're happy to make martyrs. You know, the strategy is, of course, you know, well, this, you know, look at the people walking out in the UN, walking out while Bibi speaks. It all, none of it matters. It's all just performance, because the only thing that matters is action, is substance, and the actors that are providing that substance, that are providing that action, are unimpeded. And is there any punishment whatsoever outside of, you know, walking out of a speech? That, you know, that any, you know, the UK, Canada, the United States, any of the Western democracies that are supporting Israel, is there any, you know, tariffs, you know, any kind of economic punishment whatsoever, anything? No, there isn't. It's just like, it's a lot of people, you know, howling and wailing, pointing out the crime that's happening in front of us, but God, it is like a slow moving car crash. It's happening, and it's like there's literally nothing we can do about it.
Senior commanders makes.
Well,
contrary to what
the
is being
IDF
said
is
in the
all
West,
kinds
I
of
think
little
it's going to
gadgets and
have a
tools.
very negative impact for the West and for the Israeli regime. I was about
kissing Gonzo,
1,000 meters away from the airstrike. And I lived near there in the past because I was here on sabbatical a few years ago. So I know that neighborhood pretty well. These were all residential towers. They just flattened them and killed everyone inside. In fact, I think a young husband and wife that I know were killed because I can no longer contact them.
Sure, Tisrael.
So,
yeah.
This
It's all
country, the
justified.
region, is outraged by the fact that the West is supplying bunker busters to slaughter and massacre, and the West will justify anything that the Israeli
Thermobarics, white phosphorus being used on women and children. Oh, and we're tripping about cluster bombs. Remember that last year? Or was it this year even? Israel over here. Yeah, thermobarics on a apartment building. But that's where they are. That's where Hezbollah's at.
regime does. If killing Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah or other commanders while slaughtering hundreds besides them is exactly what they did or pretended to do in Gaza when they would simply massacre people and then say that there was some person from Hamas there. That's fine with the West because the West is racist, to be very blunt, and Israel is racist.
But what is their capability?
Together well.
Sam, yeah, I'm not one of those leftists that thinks the internet, the rule of international law is completely pointless. But I mean, you can't deny that at the end of the day, you know, as long as you have the full support of the United States, this dynamic is not going to change. You know, it's really the fuel, the driving force behind Israel's incredibly antagonistic and arrogant geopolitical actions. You know, but I hear what you're saying, Sam.
You're saying?
What is their capability, though, given so much of their leadership has been taken out? And how will Iran
Good
help
point.
or direct
Israel,
them?
good point.
Well, Hezbollah actually...
You know, your comparison there only goes so far, though, because, you know, in the world of police and crimes, you can commit a crime and then you can receive a ticket in the mail, or you can have a cop knock on your door. Hey, you're in trouble, buddy. And that really doesn't exist for the international community. You know, it really only happened once. It happened for the Nazis. And then that's basically it. There's been a couple others, you know, but really, you know, in terms of actual punishment, I mean, but I see what you're saying.
Grew up. It was created as a result of a previous Israeli regime invasion of Iraq, where they took Beirut. And in one instance, in the Sabra and Shatila camp, which is not far from where I am, not too far, they and their local militia allies massacred 4,000 Palestinians.
Yeah, it's good to know what a crime
in
is.
36 hours. So Israeli genocide is nothing new. This goes way before Hezbollah. Hezbollah was created then and drove them out. It was a very small organization, but it grew gradually more and more powerful. The weakest link, I have no doubt that the weakest link is Beirut, because Beirut is where all the Western embassies are, where all the Western NGOs are. They infiltrate, they spy, and also those groups, those militias that I told you about, they have people everywhere. So Beirut has always been a very dangerous place, a very good place for Western intelligence agencies. And this was also the case before Hezbollah, during the PLO time. But outside of Beirut, where Hezbollah has thousands of kilometers of underground tunnels, far more extensive and sophisticated than Hamas or Islamic Jihad in Gaza.
Super good.
The story is very different. They have huge numbers of people ready for war with sophisticated weapons, missiles that are very well protected.
Right. That's it. Bibi's licking his chops. He's licking his chops. He can't wait. Can't fucking wait.
This is not Beirut. So if the Israelis think that they're going to walk into Lebanon, I think they're going to be beaten badly. Hezbollah is...
Right, but what is Iran going to do? I'm sorry to interrupt. It's just a bit of a delay on the line. What will Iran do?
Israel is chomping at the bit to blow these under-equipped, under-trained motherfuckers to kingdom come. They don't give a shit how many innocent people get caught up in that. They'll be bulldozing your graveyards before they even start considering giving a shit. So I'm just not convinced that they've been prepping for this. They're ready. They're way more ready than Hamas. Oh man, proof is going to be in the pudding on that one, because I think the IDF is just as ready, just as prepared for a fight, and the IDF has a few more advantages. And they also they are seemingly capable of fighting without any, Ukraine has to be really fucking careful about how it goes about its business. Precision bombing, actual precision bombing of military targets. Israel, human shield, tunnels, we had to kill it, had to kill everything. Oh, yep, yeah, I know you had no choice, yep. Children getting pulled out of the rubble. Oh, you had no choice, I know. They get a free pass. So I don't know, man. Hezbollah might be thinking that they're fighting in Israel with a different set of rules, like with the 2006 rules. These are not the 2006 rules. These are the 2025 rules. 2024 rules. Different set of rules. Look what they did. Look what they did in Gaza. And look what they're doing in the West Bank. No punishment internationally. No punishment. Yeah, no accountability. I think Hezbollah is really in for I think they're in way over their head.
To help, and why has there not been a response, a missile response from Hezbollah yet?
I think in general, from the very beginning, what happened was that Hezbollah actually entered the battle in order to defend Gaza, to draw forces, Israeli forces, away from Gaza, to help the resistance, and also to help keep kids alive in Gaza. So Hezbollah took a voluntary decision. They made a sacrifice, and they lost many people during the last year, but effectively drew away half the Israeli army during this year. And obviously they were very effective, and that's why the Israelis are now seeking revenge. But Hezbollah has from the very beginning, and the same is true with Iran, the same is true with the axis of resistance, is that they don't want to be the first that escalates, because they want the global South and the international community, forget the West. The West is pro-Israel, ethno-supremacism, pro-racism. They're useless. But the rest of the international community sides with Iran. We saw this brutal monster Netanyahu at the UN General Secretary, when he was giving his speech at the General Assembly, how the global South walked out. So Iran and the Hezbollah want to keep him isolated and then escalate, so that everyone sees that this retaliation is legitimate.
Okay.
Mohammed Marandi, we must leave it there. Thank you very much indeed.
I mean, even if I give it to him, sure, maybe that's the strategy. What is that going to do? More impassioned speeches? More finger wagging? What is it going to do? He's 100% right about the West. They're pro-Israel, right? I mean, you got Canada, UK, having some more principled stances, but the main actor being the United States, the most important actor, unrelenting, unwavering support. They say.
For your time. Well, earlier today, I spoke to Avi Issakarov, a Middle East analyst and Israeli journalist.
Simply, Steve, I refuse to accept this argument. No offense to you, but it's a rather pithy argument that, well, they've always been fighting, so what can you do? I refuse to believe that there isn't a true path to peace, even though there is this tumultuous history.
Journalist who is in Tel Aviv, and I started by asking him what he thinks the killing of Hezbollah leader Nasrallah has achieved for Israel?
I think that what Israel tried to do is to rebuild its deterrence vis-a-vis the terrorist organizations.
Yeah, I know you're not saying it's okay,
and actually
but
to get rid of one of the most dangerous people on earth. I think that what he managed to do in Hezbollah is to turn it from
there
a very
is a peaceful
small,
solution here,
radical militia into the mainstream of Lebanese politics and a huge military organization that has long arms in Yemen, Iraq, Syria, and of course, took over Lebanon.
What danger is there that his successor is even more extreme?
Well, I'm not sure that, you know, there's something here to threat Israel with someone more extreme than Hassan Nasrallah. It's like you...
So simply, Steve, that's where you're wrong. You know, you said, I've watched the world try for 40 years to make peace. That's not what's been happening the last 40 years. An objective look at the two-state solution process would tell you that it's basically just been about buying time. Israel has never, ever, since its existence, since its inception, ever taken a two-state solution seriously. It has always, from the very beginning, been about absorbing the rest of Palestine, turning it into Israel. I think now people are starting to really wake up to that fact, seeing how blatant the settlements are, seeing how Bibi Netanyahu negotiates. You know, as soon as the negotiating starts getting serious, he puts new terms on the table that are impossible to meet. Oh, see, you pulled out. You're the bad guys. Classic Bibi. He's been doing it for like 20, 30 years. But yeah, for the last, you know, this idea, oh, well, we've been trying to find peace. We've been trying to find peace. Remember Clinton. It was all about buying time. It was all about buying time. And maybe there were suckers within the U.S. State Department, within the U.S. government during the Clinton era that thought maybe peace was really possible. Maybe. But I don't think a two-state solution has ever truly been debated seriously in Israel. All the Israeli governments, all their flavors, I don't think any of them have ever been truly interested in a two-state solution. And that is never, you know, you're not going to hear that on Morning Joe, because then you'll be...
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
You'd be called an anti-Semite, right?
You take the craziest guy in the block and say, we might bring the craziest guy in the block instead of him. So way worse than him, I don't think.
Yeah, go ahead, put the link in the chat there,
better can come out of this situation. Because again,
in the Discord chat,
wasn't just another terrorist. He wasn't just another leader of a terrorist organization. He was a charismatic leader. He gained a lot of support and popularity all over the Arab world.
Yeah, okay.
And yes, by cutting the head out of Hezbollah, you send a message. You send a message that Israel had enough of terrorists trying to provoke it, trying to actually terrify the state of Israel and the Israeli citizens.
A lot of people are speculating that this pushes Iran into a position where nuclear weapons become perhaps their only avenue to maintain their sense of strength.
I don't think that this is the case, since Iran was heading to a nuclear bomb way before Hassan Nasrallah became the leader of Hezbollah, and even before the Islamic Revolution. The Iranians started with their romance with a nuclear bomb even before the fall of the Shah in 1979. So I don't think that there's any connection here, you know, that it might encourage them to get a nuclear bomb. They want a nuclear bomb regardless of Hassan Nasrallah, yes or no.
And strategically, in terms of Israel's war aim,
this guy's pretty obviously biased, but there's like 1 more minute left of this, so let's hear it.
Does a land invasion of southern Lebanon still make sense now?
Look, I don't think that something looks like reasonable right now in the situation that we find ourselves today. I think that, yes, there is some probability for a ground invasion, an Israeli ground invasion into southern Lebanon. At the end, I think that the mission the aim of the state of Israel will be to push Hezbollah north of the Litani River. Can we get to that without sending a ground invasion or ground forces into southern Lebanon? That's the biggest question. If after a few days of escalation with rockets and missiles and whatever, there will be some attempt by the US and France to negotiate, to de-escalate the situation that would lead to the withdrawal from Hezbollah to north of the Litani, so we won't need a ground invasion.
Not happening.
If it won't happen, so we will probably see Israeli forces operating on Lebanese soil.
Right. So it's basically a guarantee then, because Hezbollah would never agree to do that. So Simply Steve over here saying, what did everyone think was going to happen? The UN basically stole a whole bunch of land from other people, gave it to someone else. Well, I think it was really more Britain, right? It was really more, UK doing that, right? Here's our we have a colony that we totally own. It's totally ours, and we can just hand it over to someone else. No one else will mind. I think Simply Steve, what you're forgetting is that geopolitically, the countries that are making this happen are well aware of the history. They're well aware of what happens when you put people in an untenable situation like the Palestinians are put in. They're totally aware of all these things. They're fully aware of blowback. They have very smart people advising them. Right. They're totally aware of the history. They, geopolitically, they don't buy this religious argument that, the Jews were actually there first, 5,000 years ago before the Palestinians were there or whatever. They're not, they know all this stuff. They know. But here's the thing. Israel has a purpose. The Western democracy, the United States mainly, has a purpose for Israel. The reason Israel exists and why the United States continues to back up Israel is that Israel is a very handy military satellite to project force against Iran, against Lebanon, against all, anybody that would get, in America's way out there. Right? And if America needs to fuck up Iran, guess who's going in there first? The boots on the ground are going to be Israel. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. It's about projecting force. It's about geopolitics. Because it really doesn't make any other sense otherwise. Oh, what? Joe fucking Biden, Joe hot dog, aviator glasses, and ice cream Biden is a big fucking Zionist. Yeah, okay. Sure, buddy. He just really, really believes in the Zionist cause. Okay. Okay, Joe. All right, we got time for one more video here. Didn't have one queued up, actually. This funny thing, this is for the next stream. No, we're not going to do MS. Well... No, I don't want to do MSNBC. God help me, I don't want to do MSNBC today. Let's just go one whole day without a brain fucking cancer. I like to see the Labor government getting shit on here. DW, should we? Should we do a DW? Yeah, let's do a DW.
Hezbollah has confirmed the death of its leader, Hassan Nasrallah.
That's why you say vote Trump? That's what I had in the top right corner. I had a toilet flush. Where's my toilet flush? Yeah. Trump would make everything that I say, everything that I just said for the last hour, Trump would make 1,000,000 times worse. But you know that, Jackson. Don't make me fucking get my foot wedged in between your cheeks as I fucking boot you out this goddamn chat. Just leave of your own free will. Hey, that's why I'm voting Trump, huh, guys? Huh? What? Wrong fucking button. Huh? Right? Everyone voting Trump like me, huh? Right? He's going to make all this stuff better, huh? Trump, a.k.a. just finished the job. Right. Irony doesn't... it really doesn't if you're trying to be sarcastic, yeah. If you're... Yeah. Okay, back to the news.
In an Israeli airstrike in Beirut. This is the moment Israel's military struck Hezbollah's underground headquarters in the city late Friday. The
Welcome back, Kanye West.
Several apartment blocks in the dense...
By the way, this is the real Kanye West, guys. I've been confirmed in the DMs. We have extensive DMs. Why is Kanye West? It's actually the real Kanye West, folks. So, you know, I attract big celebrities in my stream. So just thought I'd let you know.
Populated area. Rescuers desperately searched
it's okay,
for
I told them that, right?
But Israeli officials
You don't
reportedly
care.
estimated that 300 people may have been killed. Hezbollah later
no, exactly,
the death of
Tisrael.
a man
It'd
who
be a
headed
total
the
disaster.
Iran-backed militia group for some 3 decades.
Total disaster.
And vowed to continue fighting Israel.
Well, I got to say, Kanye West, I'm not a big fan of your I Love Hitler era. I would recommend maybe apologizing for saying slavery didn't exist and those black people, they wanted to be there. You might want to apologize for that one as well. But hey, you know, you do you, buddy. Your new wife is wow, she's something else, man. Keep wrapping up your wife in clear plastic cellophane and walk around, you know, New York that way. Just keep doing that, okay? Yes, it does exist, Cam Goblin.
More from journalist Kareem
Welcome back, Big Room.
He joins us from Beirut.
Didn't we just hear from this guy? Okay, then we have an interview with an Israeli military spokesperson who we know how that's going to go. Then Tiana Kramer reporting from Jerusalem. We know how that's going to go. Richard here from Washington. No, you know, I'm kind of sick of this. No. Let's go to Al Jizzy. Let's go to Al Jizzy, see what they have to say. You know, I understand, incredibly biased, guys. I understand it. You know, Qatari media. By the way, look up the. I mentioned these statements earlier. Look up the statements of the Saudi royal prince. He literally says, "I don't care about Palestine. I don't give a shit." He literally, you know, he says that shit. So I find it funny that, you know, Al Jazeera is going in this direction while one of their biggest funders is like, yeah, I don't really fucking care, whatever. All right, is this a game changer? Sure, this is Inside Story. Hour ago, Al Jizzy over here is killing Hassan Nasrallah, a game changer. Let's check it out. Sorry, this is the first stream since I've rebuilt my stream, so I'm not fully prepared. My apologies. I have to take my dog to the vet in about an hour, so we got time for about one more video or so.
Is the killing of Hassan Nasrallah a game changer? It's the culmination of a massive series of Israeli attacks on Hezbollah's top political and military leadership. How will the group respond, and could events
there's plenty of non-fluoride toothpaste
out of control? This is Inside Story.
Thank you, Kissing Gonzo. Thank you. I'm gonna add more stuff. Got some big ideas.
Hello, welcome to the program. I'm Hashim Al-Barra. He led Hezbollah for more than 3 decades and made it into a military and political force to be reckoned with in the long-running conflict in the Middle East. Hassan Nasrallah's killing in a massive Israeli air attack in southern suburb of Beirut.
Homie is struggling for his dear fucking life to read this teleprompter. I don't know if you're noticing this.
Is sure to open a new page in the ongoing
call-in
war.
segment meta. I mean, I don't know. I've always kind of, it says there on the Twitch that you can call in on Discord. The people that always want to call in are just the guys that want to shout the N-word, though. It's so obvious, right? They're like right-wingers. Let me call in the Discord. Let me call in the Discord. I want to debate you, bro. You know the first thing on their fucking lips is going to be the N-word. Gotcha, bro.
Israel is on high alert and says it's prepared for all options after it announced his death. But will Hezbollah respond? And if so,
we've all been young.
How will the latest development shape the future of the armed group?
Yeah,
and
well,
its role
Twitch will
in the region?
ban my ass for that shit.
Our guests in a moment. First,
you should have predicted the future. Jesus Christ!
Hours after a massive air attack on Lebanon.
What is going on with the Zoom? Is the guy pinching and zooming while he's doing this? Is he? What is happening with this cameraman?
Its capital, the Israeli military says it's killed a man who led Hezbollah for more than 3 decades.
Okay, yeah, wow. Is that autofocus? My God.
In a social media post, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant praised the military operation, calling it one of the most important targeted strikes.
Yeah, that's probably autofocus. Good point.
The state of Israel has eliminated Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah. He was the murderer of thousands of Israelis and foreign citizens.
Yeah,
to our enemies, I say, we are strong and determined. To our partners, I would say, our war is yours.
Pubert, huh? I got a bad feeling about you, Pubert. I got a really bad feeling about you, buddy.
Your war. And to the people of Lebanon, I say, our war is not with you. It's time for change.
Israel's chief of staff, Lieutenant General Herzl Halevi, says the strikes.
There we go. and he delivers. And he delivers, folks. I'm just going to go ahead and... Right. Just, yeah. Okay. We're just going to... Good one, Pubert. Good one, buddy. You did not disappoint. How long will is not real bomb Gaza? Wow, that's an interesting one. Well, we'll see. The last thing I read about Gaza was that they were flirting with, announcing that they were just going to be occupying the northern Gaza city indefinitely to eliminate Hamas. But I haven't heard anything since then.
In Beirut were long planned and were executed.
I just had to ban them. I can't, we're not doing that.
Attacks.
This is not the end of the toolbox. It should be very clear. There are more tools we can use ahead. The message is a simple one.
More tools.
Whoever threatens the citizens of the state of Israel, we will know how to get there. In the north, in the south, even in the most distant places.
The Israeli military says it's eliminated most senior Hezbollah leaders during weeks of escalating violence.
Welcome back, Lee Spanner.
The death of Nasrallah, who made Hezbollah a regional force, is seen as a major blow to the Iran-backed group. His supporters are mourning his death.
If they kill Hassan Nasrallah, 1,000 Hassan Nasrallahs will come. At the
Satellites
end,
and stuff.
It is a matter of principle. The Palestinians won't give up their land. So I don't think Hassan Nasrallah's assassination will impact the cause whether in Lebanon or Palestine.
The strikes on Beirut were the heaviest in a near one-year conflict with Hezbollah and believed to have been carried out.
I mean, Israel has top-notch, top-of-the-line, cutting-edge surveillance tech, right? Because they're working directly with the United States. We've seen how that tech, benefits Ukraine on the battlefield. And, this is... What's scary, though, is that Israel is taking it another step, and they're fully embracing AI way before it's ready. We saw the devastating effects of what that looks like in Gaza. Boy, that red is quite ominous. I should probably change that.
Out using ground-penetrating munitions known as bunker buster bombs. They reduced several apartment blocks in a southern Beirut suburb to rubble. The attacks came shortly after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made a defiant speech at the United Nations General Assembly, where he told world leaders there'll be no let-up in the attacks on Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza.
As long as Hezbollah chooses the path of war, Israel has no choice, and Israel has every right to remove this threat and return our citizens to their homes safely. And that's exactly what we're doing.
In a speech boycotted by several diplomats who staged a walkout, Netanyahu also threatened Iran.
Okay, I've seen this footage more than a few times. Look what's happening here. This is actually fascinating. This guy is having a full-blown freak out. This girl, this woman over here, This is Monaco. This looks like Monaco. Look at this interaction. This is actually really funny.
What we're doing.
In a speech boycotted by several diplomats who staged a walkout,
she's like smiling. She's like, yeah, I know, man. I'm here. I'm seeing
Security
it.
Council to stop Tehran from getting nuclear weapons.
I have a message for the tyrants of Tehran.
Yeah, Clutch Cargo. Thank you for. I honestly don't try to just make shit up. I know some of the shit that I say is fantastic, but fantastical, not fantastic as in it's really great. But no, thank you for confirming, Clutch Cargo. Yeah, no, I reported on that. That's why I'm. Anyway.
If you strike us,
it's a new world order. Look, you gotta buy my supplements, okay?
There is no place in Iran that the long arm of Israel cannot.
I'm so broke. I gotta sell
and
InfoWars.
That's true of the entire Middle East.
Israel has pounded Lebanon since Monday.
Trust but verify. I totally agree.
Hundreds of people
I totally agree.
Injured thousands. But the two sides have traded near-daily strikes since last October, after Israel began its war on Gaza that's killed more than 41,000 Palestinians. As Israel continues its attacks on Lebanon and Gaza, many analysts say the conflict has already become a regional war. Kulsum Sharif, Al Jazeera,
Jesus.
for Inside Story.
Jesus. There's something so haunting about that footage right there of the, this bright, beautiful urban, center smoldering and then, explosions happening, and it's very real.
Al Jazeera for Inside Story.
It's very real. God, that is frightening.
Let's bring in our guest.
It's fucking studio. Okay, Qatar. What? Fucking, you're on a spaceship, dude. I'm sorry, it looks so dumb.
From Athens, Nicholas No, editor-in-chief of MideastWire.com, based in
fucking
Beirut.
Captain of Starship
News.
News.
Is professor of politics and founding chair of Middle Eastern Studies at the University of San Francisco. From Tel Aviv, Gideon Levy, columnist with the Haaretz newspaper and author of the book The Punishment of Gaza.
This guy's in an actual fucking closet, dude. Look at the door. Look at the wall, dude. This guy, this is his only spot to get away from the wife, man. This is his fucking sanctum sanctorum right in here. Look at this shit.
Thank you for joining us. Nicholas, are we talking
He can't even move his chair all the way
a turning
back.
point in the Middle East, in Lebanon in particular, after the killing of Hassan?
What is Israel's? Oh, so we already talked about that a little bit, Clutch Cargo, but just to reiterate, I don't think Israel is hoping to take over Lebanon. But they need to get stuck in Lebanon. This is helping Bibi Netanyahu's, politics. His poll numbers are going up. Things are looking great for Bibi Netanyahu. And I also think that this might benefit what they're doing with Palestine as well. It might be a good distraction, while you're taking more chunks of the West Bank, while you're maybe, occupying, further, implementing this occupation of northern Gaza City. No one's really talking about Gaza right now, because of what's happening in Lebanon. So that might be the calculation as well. I'm not sure. I do not think Israel wants to take over Lebanon, though. I don't think that's the goal. That would be pretty fucking wild.
Well, this word turning point has been used repeatedly over the last almost 12 months, certainly
Beautiful
since
home.
October 7th, since October 8th, when Hezbollah became committed to being a part of this conflict. I think this is probably the most significant point that we could say represents a very likelihood or high likelihood of a major escalation.
Yeah, there's going to be boots on the ground. I feel 85-90% positive that there is going to be Israeli boots on the ground. Yeah, because I mean, they basically have already said we're doing it because they're saying we're going to do boots on the ground if Hezbollah doesn't agree to this this demand that they push back behind the river or whatever. And of course, they're not going to do that. So yeah, it's basically they've already basically said, yeah, that's they want to wait for Hezbollah, right? See, it's Hezbollah's fault. We gave him an ultimatum that we would never, that no one in their right mind would ever really follow through on. But you see, there you go. Israel is very clever in how it frames things. It's brilliant. I mean, when you look at it, just at how Bibi gets what he wants, Israel gets what it wants. It's really fucking good at that. Frighteningly good.
That we've seen in the last 11 and a half, 12 months. So to your question, yes, this is a significant blow to Hezbollah. The accumulated blows of the last 8 weeks have been particularly painful for the group. The hardest strikes it's ever endured since it was founded in the wake of the Israeli invasion of 1982. And they are undoubtedly right now struggling to try to reconvene, reorganize, and assert their next steps, including with their ally Iran and other allies around the Middle East. And this is, I think, what we're waiting for. Yeah. I think there's a high likelihood that Hezbollah is willing, capable, and organized to respond to the events of the last 24 hours in a very strong way. And I think that, unfortunately, that means we're in a likely scenario of an even worse.
Yeah, they're not going to give up. They're not going to turn the other cheek and do a Mahatma Gandhi. And Bibi Netanyahu is going to be smiling ear to ear when that person walks up to him and says, "Oh, by the way, Lebanon just did something big. Hezbollah just did something big." He's going to be grinning ear to ear. It's exactly what he wants. It's fucking exactly what he wants, man. He's playing these guys like a fucking fiddle, man. He's playing the whole world like a fiddle. He really is, dude. He's so good. I can't think of a single thing that's not playing out. It's all Milhouse. It's all coming up Milhouse for Bibi Netanyahu, man. Oh, yeah, people disagree. Oh, yeah, there's peaceniks. Oh, there's all kind of people walking out in the UN. Nobody that matters. Nobody that could effectively do anything to stop this. Intervention. They don't even have enough guts to economically sanction the United States, the UK, Canada, anybody that's supporting. We can't even get some slaps on the wrist. Intervention. We don't even get rhetoric. A couple peaceniks from Ireland making some speeches. Half of them support Russia. We got nothing here, man. We're totally fucking screwed. If you care about human rights, you're totally fucking powerless.
Level of warfare and escalation.
Tell me I'm wrong. My God, tell me I'm wrong.
12 months since October 7th.
Stephen, by killing someone widely perceived to be irreplaceable in the chain of command of Hezbollah, were the Israelis hoping to do so for a particular reason?
He's not just destroying; he's dismantling while justifying, and fully taking advantage of a partner. It's much more than just destruction here. It is multi-tiered manipulation. It is genius level manipulation. And yes, some of what he's doing is destroying without a doubt, right? Look at what's happening, right? But I'm just saying it's not just, mustache twirling. It's really not. This guy has a fucking bead on what he can get away with, what kind of power he can leverage. And he's doing it, man. He's really, he kind of has no choice, right? Because the moment he lets off the gas, the second he lets off the gas, apparently, these investigations will tank him. At least that's what we hear. And he seems to be acting like a man that has nowhere else to go except forward. Bibi Netanyahu. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me, disagree with me. I don't know.
Which is basically to ensure that Hezbollah's military and political capabilities will be eroded for many, many years to come.
Well, obviously, the goal is to try to weaken Hezbollah, but Hezbollah is a broad-based movement. In fact, they emerged.
Al Jazeera over here, cherry picking, trying to find people. Oh, you better watch out. You better watch out. I don't. Can we get one guy who's cynical about Hezbollah? Who is this guy? University, whatever. Right, writer, Truth Out. Okay, he's a peacenik. All right, from San Francisco. All right. Let's hear it.
Out of the
professor of politics,
Lebanese politics, because the traditional parties, even Amal, the traditional Shia party, were the kind of top-down, elite-driven sectarian politics we'd seen since Lebanon's founding, and this was a populist movement that seemed to get a lot of support.
Welcome back, Sir Smoke-a-Lot.
Lebanese who did not support their, frankly, rather reactionary political and theological orientation. And so, there is much more to Hezbollah than simply Nasrallah and some of the other leaders. But the fact is, though, that he was very important. I mean, he'd been at the helm for 32 years. And he'd been a target for many years. In fact, a lot of people forget that the United States tried to assassinate Nasrallah back in 1984 with a bomb placed at a mosque. It killed over 70 civilians, and Nasrallah escaped unharmed. So he has created a lot of enemies elsewhere, and including within Lebanon. And it's presumably with some infiltration of Lebanese that the Israelis were able to track him down. So again, he's had a lot of enemies. He's survived miraculously, and it's amazing he survived as long as he has. But I still believe that there's going to be enough of Hezbollah, both in terms of their military capabilities, but also their popular support, aided, of course, by the Iranian support that will continue to be a formidable force for the foreseeable future.
Are you convinced? I'm not convinced.
Gideon, was October the 7th the main reason why the Israelis decided to change the political and military calculus? Because in the past they were very cautious about targeting senior member of Hezbollah, particularly Hassan Nasrallah, fearing a backlash. Yesterday, they decided to kill him. What has changed?
The 7th of October, as you rightly say, Hisham, but they assassinated already one leader of Hezbollah many years ago, and I'm not sure they were so cautious, but obviously Israelis and their leaders feel that after the 7th of October, Israel has the right to do whatever it wants. You could see it in Gaza. Gaza was the most aggressive attack on Gaza, the war in Gaza, ever since Israel exists. Israel was never so aggressive in Gaza like it was in the last 12 months. This is because Israel feels that it has the right and the capability to do so after the 7th of October. In general, Israelis believe that the 7th of October allows them to do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. As for the assassination of Nasrallah, let's remember that Israel never stopped assassinating commanders and leaders, top leaders, and by the way, it never got any results.
Okay, Nicholas, you said that you think the structure is almost intact and that the...
Okay, and look, these guys are so biased, like pro. I don't think the third guy was that biased, but I don't know. Sorry, I don't. Like I said, I this is really kind of a test stream more than anything, just to see if this whole thing was going to work. Just seeing if we got anything else of merit here. I'm not sure if we do. Just the footage of the blast itself. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that's it for me. Yeah. That's all we got on this for now. You've heard my opinions. You agree with fight against Hezbollah, Hamas, just not the means. So, I mean, yeah, no, there's no defending Hezbollah and Hamas. They're disgusting terrorist operations, anti-democratic, theocratic nightmares. But here's the thing, Sir Smoke-a-Lot. Here's the thing about terrorist organizations. You don't defeat terrorist organizations with the barrel of a gun. You destroy terrorist operations with a healthy middle class. If Israel were to treat Palestinians like human beings, it would knock the wind out of the sails of all these extremist groups that depend on a big bad boogeyman like Israel to recruit people. You can't have terrorism without discontent. So if you remove discontent, you remove the reasons to be a terrorist. Why would I be a terrorist when I can go back to being a teacher, or when I can go back to being a farmer? We are, the misconception that a lot of people have is that we're dealing that Israel wants peace with Palestine. That's a massive misconception that Israel perpetuates. Israel does not want peace with Palestine. Israel wants to destroy Palestine. It's never been more clear. It's never been more clear or obvious. Hamas and Hezbollah assist Bibi Netanyahu, and that's why, I mean, look at the connections between the cultivation of Hamas and Bibi Netanyahu. He wanted that to happen. He bragged about it. He's like, look, I divide and conquered Palestine even further. There's a whole separate government in the Gaza Strip now from the West Bank. Is it even Palestine anymore? I don't know. The independent state of Gaza? So there's a massive misconception that's intentional in the Western media, and of course perpetuated by Israel, that Israel wants peace. They don't want peace. There's a reason why they've never declared their official borders. Because they know it's going to be expanding, because they know it's going to change. They're not going to sit here and say, yep, this is officially Israel and this is officially Palestine. No, they want that map to no longer say Palestine. And they'll call you an anti-Semite if you were to challenge them. Israel has done all this before, chasing PLO militants or the way. I mean, the veracity is what's changed. And I think, it's Bibi Netanyahu having an extreme right-wing, having to have this coalition partnership with this extreme right-wing entity with, Ben-Gvir. And the fact that if he lets off the gas, he's going to lose his political career, maybe even end up in Club Fed or some kind of jail or something. So, I think that's where the veracity is coming from. It's like, well, I got no choice but to move forward, and I have to, for me to maintain power, I have to have this coalition with Ben-Gvir, who, if Ben-Gvir was in charge. The West Bank, we would see boots on the ground in the West Bank, Palestinians being probably forcibly removed into Gaza by the hundreds of thousands. Who knows? But he would be finishing the job. Okay, he'd be finishing the job. Yeah, the technology is a whole lot different as well. But anyway, welcome back, Feline Eunuchs. Appreciate you coming in. Sorry we got to get moving here. Kraila Zaneth, thank you for coming back. But yeah, Sir Smoke-A-Lot, the leftists that are trying to defend Hamas, that are trying to, better watch out for Hezbollah, they're not doing anyone any favors. And in fact, they're kind of playing along with Israel, with the IDF, right? Because what the IDF wants to say is, there's a bunch of lefty useful idiots who don't really understand what's going on. So when you start defending a terrorist operation that is a despicable, undemocratic, theological nightmare, you kind of embarrass yourself, and you play into Bibi Netanyahu's strategy. Turned out controlling southern Lebanon was a disaster for Israel, just like controlling Gaza. Yeah. So the last time that they did it, they kind of had a last helicopter out of Saigon moment there. The last time they occupied it. Like I said, I don't think it's about a big occupation. I think it's about making, we're in big trouble. We're in big trouble. Keeping that hype level up as much as possible, because the more scared people are, the more that benefits Bibi Netanyahu. Kook and Swoon! Folks, I need to remind you that the only way to create real change, real progressive change, is with political activism. It is, in fact, the only thing that's ever worked, as Clutch Cargo likes to remind us. It's just as simple as a 3-step program. It goes down just like this. Step 1, inform yourself. You're here. You're doing it. Congratulations. Step 2, put your name down. Sign up to an organization. Quit fucking around. Sign up. Volunteer. And step 3, put in the work, bitch. Put in the work. Activism isn't an afternoon. Activism is a lifestyle. You need to be asking yourself at least once a month, what am I doing to create change? What am I doing to earn my citizenship? You got to take your citizenship seriously, and you got to take civics and politics seriously if you want to create change. Or if you just want Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk to kick you in the nuts one more time, then just go ahead and stay ignorant. But creating change is as easy as 1, 2, 3, folks. Poop socking Hassan. I saw Hassan recently getting interviewed by MSNBC. It was okay, I guess. He doesn't really inspire me. You know, he kind of talks about bipartisanship in a way. You know, I'm just trying to get along with people. No, motherfucker, I want you to fight. I want you to fight. I'm just trying to be positive, bro. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. Positive? I'm positive you're not getting anything done, bitch. I don't know. No, I don't know, Hassan. You could be doing more. Hassan could be leading marches of Zoomers to the White House. You know what I mean? Hassan could be writing, getting with, talented leftists and writing manifestos and coming up with policies and challenging neoliberals and primarying neoliberals in the state that he lives in and doing marches for leftists in other states, doing real organizing. He's a motherfucking multimillionaire. But what does he do? Sits on his fucking nuts playing video games, talking shit once in a while. It's fucking embarrassing. He's the best the left has. We need fighters. We need fighters. Not gamers. And I love video games, man. But we need activists. We need fighters. We need leaders. We don't need controller twiddlers right now. Take your millions and get some shit done. Coogan swooting this motherfucker. Peace in that Middle East. And glory to the Ukrainian democracy. We'll be talking about them next time, for sure. News Underground, baby. Abandon nihilism. Take care of yourself. Get bugged. 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 Oh, I had too many beans. Oh, God, I had too many beans. No. Oh, God, no. Coming in. Flying in. Coogan swoot. Check 1, 2. Flying in. Coogan swooting this motherfucker. Coogan swoot. Coogan swooting this motherfucker. I'll get the volume. Oh, sorry. I'll get better. I gotta relearn my setup. Take care of yourself, everybody. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. No. No.